Miami Dolphins. Guys, like the Dolphins looked like the best team in the NFL for quite a while, and they hit the same thing they hit the year before. The Dolphins just cannot finish, guys. Like, why can the Dolphins just not get this thing across the finish line? I think that's the biggest question facing them.
Yeah,
it's the sun, my man. You get too hot too early, you burn yourself out.
My favorite edition of theirs is chop. Like OBJ, he's not a bad 3. You have to admit he's not a bad 3. I'm not convinced that Tua is going to be able to spread the ball around. Like, I think this is a prove it year for Tua, and if he can't get it done, then see ya. I do like what they did to try to fill some holes, but losing Christian Wilkins was by far the biggest loss, and Robert Hunt is a huge loss too. This team already had like issues on the offensive line, and I don't think it got any better.
Xavier Howard and Jerome Baker, man, that's rough.
Yeah.
Shaq
Barrett. Where'd Jerome Baker?
Okay, so by the way, this was intentional. Shaq Barrett is on the additions and the losses because they signed him and then he retired.
Well,
he retired just, I think, like a few days ago. I think he retired over the weekend.
Did you
recorded this?
I don't think Tyre Tart was there last year. He's not a bad plug it up guy.
He was in Tennessee. Justin, your slide just slacking, my man. No, I mean I like the Dolphins. I think they're a great team. The problem is, like I said, they fly too close to the sun. They got really, really hot. They were blowing up the NFL. They were the team for forever. And I think people getting hurt and, people that are able to play are getting so worn out that they're not playing at their best, capabilities. I think you're looking at a team that could really push for the division. But again, I think like we said, the Jets have to perform. And Aaron Rodgers, if he's playing, he's going to be slinging that ball over the field for the Jets. And I really think that that's the only thing. I think they'll both make the playoffs, but I think the Jets will beat them out.
So I know we have another team to go, but like it's pretty evident at this point that the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills are in must-win now mode.
Yeah, well, I think the Bills are kind of past that at this point.
But I mean, like, I still think Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott are in the mindset of let's not tear this thing down and let's still try to win.
Yeah, but we can get back to that.
My point to that was like the Jets are in win now mode because they're gonna have to pay a lot of people and they're gonna start losing some of their veterans. The Dolphins are in win now mode because if they get a new quarterback, they have to start over. And obviously we'll get into the Bills in a minute, but
yeah, either they have to get a new quarterback or they have to pay Tua. One of the two. And that's gonna.
Have you guys been seeing that Tua hasn't been performing well at camp? I guess
doesn't surprise me.
It's early.
Yeah, but it's just camp.
I think what we can bring it down to is, is it because the Dolphins have problems with injuries? Is it because the Dolphins have problems playing in the cold? Is it because the Dolphins can't beat the best teams and their schedule keeps getting backloaded?
Is it because the Dolphins have a strip club in their stadium right on the field that costs $70,000 for season tickets?
Probably that. That's it right there. I think that's the answer.
I wish I had that kind of money.
Oh my!
But yeah, I mean, like I like the Dolphins. I like Mike McDaniel. I want to see them do well outside of if they have to play the Bengals. But
think about it. They still got Tyreek Hill. They still got Jalen Waddle. You had OBJ, Jalen Wright, in addition to Mostert and A-Chain. How do you say his name?
A-Chain.
A-Chain. I think that's really potent. I mean,
basically, they added Wright in because they had 2 fast running backs, but obviously the problem with fast running backs is they're also injury prone. So they added Wright in to have a 3rd fast running back.
and like here's the other thing: you look at defense. Like I said, I think losing Jerome Baker is hard, but they got Jordan Brooks and they got Anthony Walker, two of the best free agent linebackers, right?
Those guys are studs.
And then,
Brooks may not be as Baker, but he can fly around the field. And I'm like, I had him as a huge loss for the Seahawks. But like, I love that the Dolphins got him because they did fill a big hole there.
And then like Xavier Howard, losing him's big, right? But so they got Kendall Fuller, which may not be as good, but he's younger, right?
Yeah.
And so I
feel like what they did was find someone cheaper who kind of is a little bit of a downgrade to what they had, pretty much.
Will be there a little bit longer. And then the biggest hole, right, is Christian Wilkins, right? And I think Calais Campbell, he's a little bit older past his prime, but he's a solid fill-in for this year until they can draft somebody or get that man to replace him.
Well, they do have Deshaun Hand, who, like, I guess you got to hand it to him. He's pretty good at stopping the run. So, like, they have a rotation going, and they know the skill set of the players they need. So they went out and got cheap versions to fill up what one guy did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like Daniels too. But to be honest, if they do this again this year, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like on the hot seat for that. Like if they go off real strong and then can't get to the playoffs and all that stuff, I think management might be like, listen, if you can't get us there, then we're gonna find somebody who can.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty good coach, but I think it's more of the Dolphins like training staff, personnel, like GM, like the players they get. Like they didn't have very many draft picks past few years.
Because they've been
got Tua, but like
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, that too. But like, I mean, they have had to go out and spend. And Miami may be a big city, but like the Dolphins haven't been like a team that just has money lying around to spend either.
Right.